Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today what I'm doing here is just talking a little bit about and pretty much giving my first impressions on the combat system of Destiny 2. Now, when I first picked up this game, I remember the very first few hours I was speaking to my friend Afflicted Gamer. This is about 3 years ago, Destiny 1. And he was telling me about the class system and the subclass system, and all that stuff just went over my head. But today I was looking at my settings. I went into my settings and I did my button mapping, and I changed because I play on PC. By the way, this is my same account on my PlayStation because I enabled cross save. So if you see the controller functionality, it's because I'm just looking at my account here on the PlayStation. And I went and changed my melee command to the middle mouse button on click because I wanted it to be there. It's just easier for me. And then that kind of spurred something where I said, you know, what are these subclasses about? And I was already using the Night Stalker because that's the one that was just by default there. And I started looking at the intricate aspects of your subclass. Your subclass, to me, I would call it a set of skill abilities that are equipped. And, you know, each subclass that you equip comes with multiple options on how it affects your gameplay and your combat abilities. So while you're in combat, different actions that you can carry out in different scenarios in order for you to affect the outcome of the battle. And so I was using some really primitive options, and so I came in here and kind of tweaked it to what I wanted. And as I was working through it, it just hit me that this game actually has a very intricate combat system that is better than Tom Clancy's The Division 2. I mean, you have this shadow shot where you jump in the air and you fire like this beautiful purple arrow light thing, and it zaps a bunch of enemies. And yet in The Division 2, when you want to melee somebody, it looks like this. Now, I'm not saying that that the Division ought to have something better, but at least there needs to be a better animation that comes with the melee in the game. And if you notice, the Division 1 even had some sort of a melee that was somewhat better, but the Division 2, the melee system is just absolutely horrendous. Let's just call it what it is. But we're not comparing both of them because the Division has its strong points, but I have to say that this was definitely one of the better surprises that I discovered in this game. Because if you start to look at the other subclasses, what hits you is, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on something potential. And from the perspective of a new player like me, I'm like, I wonder if I actually equip the gunslinger. I wonder if that's going to be better. So I don't know. And I'm not watching any YouTube videos to tell me. I'm going to be sitting here exploring every single one of them myself. Now, if I, read and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this, like a grenade whose explosion catches enemy on fire. This looks like a grenade I'll use because I use a survivalist specialization. I always like keeping enemies on fire. It's so nice. In many games that are well programmed, when enemies are on fire, they usually are not damaging you. So that's one of the reasons I use them. But it may not be a grenade I want to use. So I haven't even touched the gunslinger class. I'm still here just making my way through Night Stalker, and I have it unequipped because this is the fourth time I'm recording this video. And I think, in my opinion, this is in the sense of a surprise discovery. And I know if I use the word surprise mechanic, this video will become a meme. But this is, in my opinion, like opening a gift, and then inside of the package, when you open the gift, you find your gift, and then on the corner you find another little box, and you're like, I wonder what's in this box, and you open that box, and there's a gift inside of that box. So the discovery of these subclasses is definitely something that I will say, okay, now this game has got another level of my attention. Because if you notice the other video that I did, I was asking, so what's the depth in this game in terms of how am I going to be diving deep into the different mechanics? And I think I just stumbled over it, and I'm happy that I did. I mean, it's been there. Some of you are probably wondering, man, I can't believe this guy is, here fawning over just our skill tree. But trust me, when you have played this game for a long time, it might be difficult for you to appreciate what it is that you have here. Because if you look at the way, and each single subclass is unique, very unique. I mean, it's unique enough from just what I'm reading and what I'm seeing. You can tell that there is a huge difference between them. And I speak for the hunter class because I don't have any other characters with any of the other classes. And I'm just quite amazed. I'm impressed as to how, these different abilities have been made to differ from one another, that you're in three different realms if you equip one subclass over the other. Now there are similarities, like your jumps. There are some things that will stand out and all that good stuff. But these new and they even added these subclasses, because when I try to click these here, it tells me to purchase Shadowkeep. It's asking me if it requires Forsaken or Shadowkeep. I do have Shadowkeep on my PC, so when you're doing cross save, it's only your progression that's saved. They will not allow for you to access things that are bound to those expansions. And so this is just my first impression, or my first reaction to the in-depth combat mechanics in Destiny 2. Now, many of you may say this is not in-depth enough as some other games. This is a shooter. You already have weapon classes, weapon types. You already have all kinds of things. And then you also have character archetypes that do have their different combat systems. And I think this is probably somewhat sufficient. And if they continue with the concept development, where they continue to add to these trees as the game continues to develop, to the point where you have one class having multiple ability subsets, you're going to develop this game into something that is a phenomena. I mean, something that, just imagine this hunter subclass already having different branches to this one tree for the Night Stalker. And even if they even wanted to go crazy, they can add a third subclass to it. It's not uncommon to see that happen. In fact, recently in Mortal Kombat 11, they added a third competitive variation for all the different fighters, which is really cool, because that came with the whole subset of learning of the the mechanics and how they interact with all the other characters. So this is definitely something that a whole bunch of people oh, look at people memeing all the way around here and dancing. Oh, doing emotes. Yeah, this game is the emote king of emotes, man. Division ain't got nothing on this game. I mean, hey, it's just what it is. I mean, from watching all the Destiny videos with the emotes and stuff, this is definitely the game that has emotes. I mean, this game owns emotes. So that's all I have for today regarding the combat mechanics, and this is just my initial impression. As I continue to dive in, you guys are going to be hearing from me based on some of the things that I find interesting. And you can spoil stuff for me in the comment section. Let me know what combat classes or what subclasses you're using, or what class you're even a fan of. But for me, I think the hunter class right now is really doing it for me. But I hope to be able to finish through this hunter class, get all the way through 900 and whatever light level, and then eventually start working on other classes and exploring them and seeing what their strengths and their weaknesses may be compared to this particular class. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for your time and audience. Thanks for watching the video. I do appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for all the support on these Destiny videos. They really mean a lot. And I'm just going to continue, edging my way through the game as little as possible, taking my time and enjoying the experience. And so this is what this is. This is just me enjoying this experience and sharing it with you guys here on the channel. All right, that's all I have for today. I'm out.